I've been involved with art and design in some fashion since I was probably 8 years old. I can remember drawing a lot and drawing characters, and that was my avenue that I enjoyed more than anything, or something I thought I was good at anyway. I can find inspiration just about anything. I almost helps if I have less inspiration because it can be overwhelming at times. I'm really into like science fiction movies or cars or dinosaurs, robots, animals, you name it. My name's Joe Latimer. I'm a digital media artist. I also work at Full Sail University.
I met Joe on Match.com. I was really busy going to school and just really didn't have time to go out, and he was my first date. We had so much fun going to concerts. We were very active, rode our bikes a lot, just really got out and lived life to the fullest. He brought so much to my life, taught me so many different things, and just really changed who I was by bringing so many new things into my life.
Before Helios, we had a little dog, Radar. It was a miniature pinscher, and I'd walk him every day. I was a very active person, so we were always walking or riding bikes or jogging or what the case may be. And one day we were crossing the Katy Way Trail, and someone ran the red light going 45 miles an hour, and that was the day that changed my life forever.
I was actually at work at the time, and it was 6:45. We were just getting ready to change shifts. It was in the evening, and Joe called, and it wasn't Joe. It was a woman. My
bike was totaled. I basically got smashed into her windshield and flew about 5 car lengths. Luckily, there was people at the scene that were able to call, and I was then rushed to the hospital.
He or she told me that Joe had been in an accident, and that he was that he couldn't move. It was obviously a shock at the time. They didn't let me back to the Trolley Bay for hours, and when they finally let me back, the first thing he said to me was he was an artist with no hands, and broke my heart.
We then began our journey, starting our lives over, really. We stayed in an intensive care unit and physical therapy there for about a month.
He was very scared, and at the time they weren't really sure the extent of his injury. They didn't know if this was going to be permanent. They couldn't really give us a whole lot of answers. So we were both terrified at what the future was going to hold.
A friend of ours, Terry, had recommended Craig Hospital. Then Tracy and I had to move to Colorado right away to begin care and physical therapy as well. And it was life-changing for us to go out there, and every day was a challenge to regain what you once had, your independence. You're trying to just learn to eat and, dress yourself and move again, and just try to start again.
You're an overachiever.
I knew we were going to get through it, and I tried to stay strong for him at that moment, but we knew that we had each other.
Once we had moved back from Colorado, we modified our home just to get back in the house, and you really begin to sink in that you have to try to figure out your life again.
When we first got back, we hired a in-home person. At the time, he wasn't able to open the refrigerator. He wasn't able to refill his water. So there were a lot of things that he couldn't do while I was at work. So leaving, I was just terrified. I called him multiple times during the day to make sure that he was okay.
Friends of ours who are real animal lovers and philanthropists had recommended Canine Companions. They had been volunteers and donors through the organization and thought it'd be a good fit for us. I slowly realized that I'm not as confident or as physically able as I used to be. Obviously, I can remember team training when we first started. They had all the dog crates lined up and everyone was really excited, and they had about a dozen dogs, I believe. And I can vividly remember Helios coming out of his crate and seeing his little birthmark here. He has a special little, I like to call it his ink splatter, just because of coming from a creative background and being an artist, that it really made me notice him first, and I just knew that we'd get along great from there. When I was on the stage for the ceremony, I was really nervous, and everybody, you could just feel the tension in the air. It's a very emotional day, but you could see that it was time for Patty to hand over the leash, and Helios come running up and jumped right on me, and it's just like it really sealed the deal that he knew he was going to be going to a good home and be a great assistance to me. So we were all really thrilled, and it was a very emotional day. And when I was in the hospital, one of the things I was trying to figure out was how I could use the computer again, and I saw these U-cuffs being used for silverware, so I thought, well, if you can put silverware in there, you can certainly put a stylus or a digital pen in there. Once the stylus is in the U-cuff, I'm able to put it on there with my thumb and then actually use it with a Apple Magic Pad. Allows me to navigate the computer, so it works pretty good. These wear out fairly fast, but it's better than nothing. Working from home is really challenging. You're in solitude a lot, so having Helios has been great to have a companion there to kind of play with or take breaks. He always reminds me to take him out and feed him, and so it's really good for me to take breaks and get away from the computer once in a while. Being in a wheelchair, you kind of forget you're sitting all the time, and it's easy to overwork or just work long hours. Being a quadriplegic, just trying to move simple things in your office or access things, I drop a lot of things. I have a stylus that I work with, just my main tool. Even taking that off and on every day, I drop it a lot, but Helios is always happy to help. He loves to run up, and just the sound of it now, he knows that it's either time to take a break or I might need assistance to pick it up. Helios helps me in a lot of other ways. I've recently been trying to get a van modified to allow me to drive with hand controls, and so when I go out in public, it's always nerve-wracking if I were to drop my wallet or my keys. He gives me confidence to know that he can pick those things up for me. Again, going in public, it's really nice to have him because it's a real icebreaker for a lot of people. Helios also likes to help around lunchtime. He likes to open the fridge for me, and that is a big plus. He can also, I have a gripper that it allows me to use my Tenodesis that I use as my main tool to pick up things, and if I drop that, I'm really stuck. So having him there to pick that up for me is a real big help. One of my worries was that with my wheelchair that he was always going to be in the way, or that it would kind of inhibit my motion, but he's so good about being in the right position or paying attention to my chair and always being ready to work. Helios loves to play when he's not on his leash. He loves to play catch, especially loves to catch the ball in his mouth. And he really is just a fun-loving dog once he's not working.
Oh, that's a good one. Good boy.
One of my favorite things about Helios is that he's always happy to help and happy to work for me. Even when he seems like he's not paying attention, he's always there and he's listening. From day one, this has been an absolute life-changing experience for us. It's very emotional, and it brings up a lot of memories and makes you really think about your life. And to have an organization out there that really puts so much thought and effort and care and the time and the talent and the donations and the volunteering has all just been, it doesn't go unrecognized. Every day was very emotional for us. You really go through it, and to know that you're going to have this animal that now is going to be a part of your life and your family. You now know you're going to be developing this bond and this love and this relationship with this animal that's going to not only add to the quality of your life, but you get to take care of it, and it's really a great experience from day one.
The fact that Canine Companions for Independence provides these animals at no charge, it takes a load off of those that receive these animals. This injury has incurred so much medical debt, so everything that we've had to do, the modifications, the medical bills have all been out of pocket. So to be able to have an animal that has provided so much independence and so much peace of mind for me, for Joe, has been invaluable.
Having Canine Companion for Independence put so much time, effort, and love and attention into these animals to give to you is just really overwhelming. You get this world-class animal that is impeccably trained and becomes your companion, all free of charge, and there's a lot to be said that so many strangers volunteer their time and efforts to make that happen, to give to somebody in need that needs help. I'm absolute proof that your organization is working, that you're adding value to people's lives, that you're making a difference. I can't thank you enough. We absolutely love Helios. He has been a wonderful addition to our lives and really is making an impact. I certainly feel more confident, and I'm a different person when I have him in public, and I know he is making a difference in the quality of my life and the way we interact with people, and it's certainly just, it adds a lot when you've had so much taken away from you.